In Saw the video game, you play as Detective Trap, captured by Jigsaw and forced to fight your way through his insane deadly maze. Surprisingly, Saw the video game actually isn't bad. I know you think Saw and video game and immediately assume this has got to be horrible, but you know what? This is actually a pretty decent adventure game. This really does have the look of the Saw movies. Jigsaw is constantly popping up on monitors, he's taunting you, giving you clues, and giving you philosophical things to consider while you're also trying to avoid losing your life.
Dig through others' discarded trash as you forced others to dig through yours.
There are some classic traps brought in from the Saw movies. You actually start the game off in that bear trap head cage, and you've got to actually find your way out, and if you fail, well, you get to see your head pop off. Fortunately, the first trap is actually pretty easy to succeed through, so you're probably not going to die right off the bat. There are tons of traps in this game, and the chances are that sooner or later you are going to fail at one of these traps and that you will die. That's because almost every single trap in this game is a fail and die scenario. Now, there is a health system, but that's really mainly meant for combat. You'll slowly have your health whittled away by walking on glass in your bare feet or getting clubbed by some guy who comes after you. But for the most part, when you're dealing with the traps themselves, you make one mistake, you're probably going to explode. There is a story in Saw the video game, and it does tie directly with Saw the movie. In fact, in the very beginning of the game, you're trying to free Amanda. Most people who've seen the Saw movies will remember that she's Jigsaw's apprentice. The demo is pretty short, so we never actually got a chance to get to Amanda and see what she had to say for herself, but that is a big part of the first hour of gameplay. There's plenty of danger in Jigsaw's labyrinth. Not only are there those booby traps, but there are also a lot of mini games that you've got to deal with. You're going to be trying to pick locks, and also there are some really cool ones where you have to dig through something to kind of find an item. And this gives you this x-ray view, so you might be digging through, say, a toilet that's filled with needles trying to find an item that you need. And if you screw up and grab the item at the wrong time, your hand just gets punctured by all these needles, you lose a little bit of health. Probably a little more gruesome is when you have to dig through cadavers trying to find a key. The thing is, there are 4 cadavers, and 3 of them are actually alive. You've just got to figure out which one is actually dead. Otherwise, you're basically becoming a murderer. Nice going, Jigsaw. Now, there are some issues with Saw the video game. For example, your character kind of moves like an action figure, and this isn't the prettiest game in the world either, and there are a lot of times where it's hard to tell exactly where you're supposed to go next. You're just not guided as much as maybe we're used to seeing in video games. All that said, Saw the video game, which is coming out in October, actually is looking like it could be pretty decent. This is definitely one to look out for if either you like the movies or you're just a fan of those old adventure games that required you to figure out different puzzles before your head exploded.